The stars were quiet that night, but not empty. Somewhere deep in the galaxy, the last signal of humanity drifted across the void. On a small observation ship, orbiting a lonely blue planet that had once been alive with human cities, Commander Lyra watched the fading lights. She had heard the stories, of course. Tales told in whispers by alien travelers about a race that once ruled the stars. A race that vanished without warning. Humanity. Gone. And the galaxy was still trying to understand why. Lyra tightened her grip on the railing. She had been sent to the system to scan for signs of life, any life, but what she found instead was silence. Silence and ruins. Towering structures now covered with strange, creeping plants. Roads cracked and empty. The hum of machines that no longer worked. She felt a strange chill. How could a species so powerful, so clever, simply disappear? Her ship's AI, an old but loyal unit called Arvin, spoke softly. Sensors detect residual energy patterns consistent with human technology. No active transmissions. All life forms, extinct or absent. Absent, Lyra whispered, staring at the ghost city below. Not extinct. They left. Arvin made a sound like a sigh. Unknown departure. Records indicate humanity had colonized hundreds of systems. Each one now abandoned. The idea that humans might have simply left was terrifying. It meant they had a plan, something the rest of the galaxy could not understand. Lyra thought of the legends, ships that could vanish from one galaxy and appear in another, weapons so powerful that entire fleets disappeared in a flash. And yet, nothing like that had been seen for centuries. Humanity had vanished, leaving a mystery that no historian, no scientist, no diplomat could solve. Suddenly, a flicker of movement caught Lyra's eye. On the surface, near the largest human tower, a shadow darted between the buildings. Her heart raced. There should be no one there. She activated her external sensors. The readings were strange. Life signatures, yes, but different. Not quite human, not quite alien. Something new, something waiting. Commander, Arvin warned, I detect rapid energy fluctuations. Something is approaching the ship. Lyra's fingers tightened around the console. She saw it then, a faint glow at the edge of the atmosphere. It moved fast, but gracefully, like it was avoiding detection. A single ship? No, too fluid, too alive. Lyra had studied enough human technology files to recognize the pattern. This wasn't human, at least not what humans had left behind. And yet, the energy signature carried a strange familiarity. Then the transmission came. A voice, almost human, almost robotic, and yet alien. Do not interfere. Leave immediately. Lyra froze. She had trained for this. First contact, hostile encounters, unknown threats. But nothing had prepared her for a warning like this. Who were they? Humans? Or something that had inherited their technology? Who are you? She demanded, though she knew no answer could come in a language she could understand. The voice repeated, sharper this time, leave. Now. And then, silence. The ship trembled. Lights flickered. Instruments went haywire. Lyra gripped the console, heart pounding. She realized that the warning wasn't just for her. It was for everyone. Humanity had left the galaxy with secrets. Secrets dangerous enough to make others, whatever they were, guard them fiercely. Lyra made a choice. Against her better judgment, against the warnings, she prepared a landing. She had to see with her own eyes. If humanity had vanished, someone, or something, must know why. And maybe, just maybe, she could uncover the first clue. The descent was slow. The ruined city stretched below, enormous in scale, its towers like broken teeth against the landscape. The shadow she had seen earlier moved again, faster now, almost as if it were following her. Her ship's sensors tried to track it, but it disappeared before they could lock. Finally, she landed. The airlock opened with a hiss. Lyra stepped out, helmet lights cutting through the thick, misty air. The silence was oppressive, yet she could hear something faint, like a heartbeat, or maybe machinery mimicking life. Her boots crunched on the cracked ground. Every corner she turned, every shadow she passed, seemed alive. Then she saw it, a figure standing at the top of a collapsed tower. Tall, slender, clothed in a suit of light that shimmered with energy. Its face hidden, yet somehow she felt it watching her. Lyra swallowed hard. "Who? What are you?" The figure did not answer. It lifted one hand, a gesture not of aggression, but of warning. And then, just as suddenly as it appeared, it vanished. Lyra was alone again. Or so she thought. But deep down, she knew this was only the beginning. The story of humanity's disappearance was not a simple one. Something had been left behind, something alive, something waiting. And the galaxy, for the first time in centuries, was about to remember that humanity had once existed, and perhaps, that it was not gone forever. The stars above seemed to shimmer, almost as if they were watching her. And somewhere in the distance, something moved, waiting, patient, and utterly beyond comprehension. Commander Lyra could feel the air around her thicken, heavy with tension. She stepped cautiously through the ruins, the soft hum of her boots on cracked stone echoing louder than it should. Every shadow seemed to flicker, every whisper of wind carrying a warning. The figure from before had vanished, but its presence lingered like a ghost. Her scanner beeped urgently. Arvin's calm voice sounded strained. "Commander, I am detecting multiple energy readings in your vicinity. They are moving." "Moving where?" Lyra asked, but even as she spoke, she realized the readings were circling her. Something, or someone, was watching, analyzing, waiting for her next move. She moved toward the largest tower, drawn by an instinct she couldn't explain. The structure leaned precariously, yet there was a strange light glowing from within. Lyra approached cautiously, stepping over fallen debris. Her heart pounded as the glow brightened, and she felt the hairs on her arms rise. The energy was alive. Not human, but not alien either. Something in between. Inside the tower, walls were covered with strange symbols, etched into metal that pulsed faintly. Lyra traced her fingers over the carvings. They seemed to shift, rearranging themselves under her touch. Arvin interrupted her thoughts. "Commander, these are not merely decorative. The symbols are active. They appear to respond to your presence." "Respond? How?" she asked, eyes wide. "I cannot fully interpret. There is intelligence here. Possibly linked to humanity, or what humanity left behind." Lyra felt a chill run down her spine. Humanity had left. But it seemed they had left more than just ruins. They had left guardians, or perhaps warnings encoded into technology far beyond anything the galaxy had seen. A sudden movement made her spin around. At the base of the tower, the shadow appeared again. This time, it was closer. She could see it more clearly. Tall, almost humanoid, with faint light flickering along its limbs. Its face remained hidden, but there was intelligence in its posture, a careful, measured grace. Lyra spoke, trying to steady her voice. "Why are you here? What do you want from me?" The figure raised one hand, not in attack, but as if showing her something. And then, a projection appeared in midair, a holographic map of the galaxy, marked with points of light. Some were blinking, some fading. She recognized the planets. They were former human colonies. And at the center, one point glowed brighter than the rest. Arvin's voice trembled slightly, unusual for an AI. "Commander, that location corresponds with the Sol system. The origin of humanity." Lyra's breath caught. Could humanity really have left the galaxy from their homeworld? And if so, where had they gone? The figure moved closer, and she felt an energy field brush against her mind. Memories, images, flashes of humans building ships, leaving planets, mysterious devices humming with power, all in seconds. She staggered, overwhelmed. Then the figure vanished. Lyra stumbled backward, clutching her helmet. What just happened?" Arvin responded calmly. "Commander, your mind appears to have received a transmission." visual, and emotional. It is as though the Guardians wanted you to see the story, without speaking it. The implications were terrifying. Humanity had left, yes, but not without purpose. They had hidden something so important that it required silent guardians, energy constructs, warnings for centuries. And now, for the first time in hundreds of years, someone was beginning to uncover it. A sound echoed through the tower, a low, resonant hum. Lyra turned, heart racing. The walls themselves seemed to pulse, and from the shadows, faint lights began moving. Shapes formed, then solidified into more of the Guardians. Not one, but dozens, surrounding her, their light reflecting in patterns across the walls. She tried to stay calm. "I'm not here to harm anything. I just want to understand. Please." The Guardians did not respond. Instead, the room changed. Symbols on the walls shifted rapidly, creating a corridor of light leading downward. Lyra felt a pull, almost irresistible, drawing her into the depths of the tower. She glanced at Arvin, who hesitated. "Commander, sensors indicate extreme energy levels below. Proceed with caution." Lyra nodded, though her instincts screamed to turn back. She stepped into the corridor. The light enveloped her, warm and strange, like walking into a heartbeat. Every step felt heavy, every breath deliberate. At the end of the corridor, she saw a chamber, a massive, circular room filled with human relics. Star charts, devices she could barely comprehend, and at the center, a glowing orb suspended in midair. The orb pulsed, almost alive, as if it held the memory of humanity itself. Lyra reached out, but stopped. A voice, faint and distant, filled her mind, not a warning this time, but a question. "Are you ready to know why we left?" Lyra froze. She had been searching for answers, and now the galaxy was about to tell her one. But she understood, deep inside, that some truths were dangerous. Knowledge came with a cost. And in the silence of the ancient chamber, she realized that the story of humanity's departure was only beginning, and that the galaxy, and everything in it, would never be the same again. Lyra stood in the glowing chamber, staring at the floating orb. Its light pulsed like a heartbeat, casting shadows that danced across the walls. The Guardians, still silent, formed a circle around her. Their presence was both protective and intimidating, as if they were waiting to see if she was worthy. "Arvin," she whispered. "What is this?" Arvin's voice was steady, but there was a hint of unease. "Commander, I cannot fully analyze the orb. Its energy signatures are unlike anything in the known galaxy. It appears sentient, and it is linked to the human colonies." Lyra took a deep breath. She had seen remnants of human technology before, but this was different. She reached out, just a finger hovering near the orb, and a surge of images flooded her mind. Ships leaving planets, humans working together to build something massive, stars being mapped in a way no alien race had ever done. And then, the humans themselves, walking away from their homeworld, leaving everything behind. A thought struck her. They didn't just disappear. They left on purpose. Suddenly, a low vibration shook the chamber. The Guardians shifted, forming a tighter circle. Lyra realized the orb was reacting to something, an external presence. Her scanners immediately detected a fleet entering the system, massive ships she had never seen before. Their shapes were sharp, aggressive, and their energy readings were off the charts. "They're here," Lyra said, heart pounding. "And they're not human." Arvin chimed in. "Commander, these ships are moving with intent. They are targeting the chamber, likely seeking the orb and whatever secrets it holds." Lyra's mind raced. If these beings reached the orb, the galaxy could be in danger. Humans had left for a reason, and whatever they left behind was powerful enough to attract enemies even centuries later. She had to act. The Guardians seemed to sense her thoughts. One of them stepped forward, extending a glowing limb toward her. In her mind, a message came, clearer this time. "Use the knowledge. Protect it. Only the worthy may pass." Lyra understood. The orb was not just a relic. It was a map, a record, a key to something humanity had hidden. And the beings approaching the system wanted it. She had no choice. She had to defend it. The corridor back to her ship was blocked by a wall of light, created by the Guardians. Lyra hesitated. Then, summoning courage, she placed her hands on the wall. The light pulsed and shifted, forming a pathway. She realized the Guardians were giving her access, but only if she could prove herself. She stepped forward. Instantly, the chamber changed. Walls of light rearranged, creating a puzzle. Symbols, energy patterns, moving pathways. It was a test. Lyra felt her mind strain, trying to follow the sequence. Each mistake triggered a pulse of energy, harmless but startling. Sweat ran down her face. Failure was not an option. Minutes passed, though it felt like hours. Finally, she reached the orb again. The light dimmed, as if acknowledging her effort. A vision filled her mind. An entire fleet of human ships, leaving their systems, carrying colonies to the edges of the galaxy and beyond. They were not gone. They had chosen a new home, far from those who might harm them. But there was more. The vision shifted to a threat, an alien race, older than most of the galaxy, capable of destroying planets. Humanity had left to protect the galaxy from them, leaving behind guardians and records to warn the next intelligent species that might stumble upon their secrets. Lyra staggered back, absorbing the enormity of it. Humans had vanished, yes, but they had done so with a purpose. They were not defeated. They had planned, hidden, and ensured that their knowledge could survive even in their absence. A sudden alarm from her ship broke her reverie. The approaching fleet was entering the system's outer orbit. They were faster than anything she had seen, and their energy readings spiked. The Guardians shifted again, forming a defensive circle around the chamber. Lyra realized she had only one choice. She had to communicate with the fleet before they could strike. She accessed her ship's communication system, attempting a universal signal. Static at first. Then, a harsh, distorted voice responded. "You have found what does not belong to you. Leave, or be destroyed." Lyra swallowed hard. "I am not here to take it. I am here to protect it. Humanity left this for a reason. You must not touch it." Silence followed. And then, a pulse from the orb. It shot a beam of light into space, striking one of the enemy ships. The ship's engines overloaded, and it drifted out of control. The other ships hesitated, scanning, unsure. Lyra realized the Guardians had given her a fraction of humanity's power to defend the secret. But this was only the beginning. The fleet would not stop. They would return. And the deeper mysteries of humanity were still waiting to be uncovered. Her heart raced. She looked at the orb, at the Guardians, and whispered, "I will protect this. I will find out why you left, and I will make sure no one uses it for destruction." The stars outside the chamber shimmered. Somewhere, far beyond the known galaxy, humanity was out there, waiting. And the galaxy was about to discover that their disappearance was only the beginning of a story no one could have imagined. Lyra stood among the Guardians, her mind still reeling from the vision. Humanity had not disappeared. They had left to protect the galaxy from a threat older than most civilizations could imagine. And now, that threat was stirring again. She looked around the chamber. The orb pulsed gently, almost as if it were alive, waiting for her next move. The Guardians remained silent, forming a protective circle. Arvin's voice broke the quiet. "Commander, the orb contains data on human ships, colonies, and weapon systems far advanced than anything currently known. If we can access this information safely, it could change the balance of power in the galaxy." Lyra swallowed hard. Safely, that's the problem, isn't it? Humans built this to be dangerous in the wrong hands. "Yes," Arvin replied. "Even accidental misuse could trigger catastrophic events." She nodded, her resolve strengthening. The aliens in orbit could not be allowed to reach the orb. Humanity had left this gift, or weapon, as a warning and a safeguard. Lyra had to understand it, to protect it, before the enemy arrived. The Guardians shifted again, their lights forming a pathway leading to the deeper chambers of the tower. Lyra followed, feeling the orb's pulse guiding her. Each step seemed to resonate with the energy in the walls, almost like the tower itself was alive with the memory of humanity. At the end of the corridor, she entered a vast room. Floating holographic displays lit up automatically. Stars, planets, and strange symbols filled the space. Lyra realized she was standing in what seemed like a command center, a control hub for the fleet humanity had left behind. Her eyes widened. This is incredible. This is their map of the galaxy. Yes, Commander, Arvin said. And according to these readings, some colonies are still operational, somewhere beyond the edge of known space. Humanity may have left, but parts of it continue to exist. Lyra's heart raced. Could there really be humans alive, hidden beyond the galaxy? She felt hope but also fear. If the aliens in orbit discovered this data, they could follow the trail, destroying whatever humans remained. A soft hum grew in the chamber. Lyra turned and saw the Guardians forming a tighter circle around the central orb. The light intensified, and a figure appeared, different this time. Unlike the earlier Guardians, it seemed more humanoid, more like the humans she had seen in the vision, yet glowing with the same strange energy. The figure spoke, not in words, but directly in her mind. You are ready to know more. But knowledge comes at a cost. Are you prepared to see what humanity left behind, and what it could awaken? Lyra hesitated. She felt the weight of the choice. She could walk away, leave the chamber, and report her findings. Or she could dive deeper, uncover the full truth, and risk attracting the attention of enemies she did not yet understand. I'm ready, she whispered. The figure nodded. The orb's light expanded, filling the room. Images and memories poured into her mind. Ship designs, weapons, colonies, and a network of humans scattered across the stars. But then, darker visions appeared, alien fleets, civilizations destroyed, warnings of a force that could consume planets without mercy. She staggered, clutching her head. The Guardians stabilized her, their energy forming a shield around her mind. The figure communicated again. This is why we left. To survive. To protect. To prepare. And now, you are part of that preparation. Arvin's voice broke through. Commander, sensors indicate the enemy fleet is moving closer. They may attempt an attack within the hour. Recommendation, deploy defenses or evacuate. Lyra's eyes snapped open. The alien ships were coming, and she had to act. But now she understood, she could not just defend. She needed to use the knowledge of humanity itself, hidden in this tower, to stand a chance. The Guardians moved, merging their energy with the orb. Lyra felt a surge of power, like a river of human ingenuity and strength flowing into her. She realized that she could access the systems, even control some of the defenses left behind. But every second counted. Outside, the first flashes of the enemy fleet entered the system's outer rim. Ships bristling with weapons, engines glowing, scanning for life. Lyra knew they could not reach the chamber if she acted fast. Arvin, she said, her voice steady now, help me activate the defenses. I don't know if I can hold them all, but we have to try. Humanity left this for a reason, and I will not let it fall into the wrong hands. The Guardians hummed, responding to her determination. Lyra reached for the controls, her mind synced with the orb's energy. Lights blazed, shields rose, and holographic ships appeared in the chamber, ready to defend humanity's secrets. Outside, the alien fleet slowed, scanning, unsure of what they were facing. Lyra's pulse quickened. This was only the beginning. She was no longer just an observer. She had become part of the story humanity had left behind, a story of survival, power, and warning for the galaxy. And somewhere, far beyond the known stars, humanity waited, silent, hidden, watching. But Lyra knew one thing. The galaxy was waking up to the fact that humanity had left, and now, someone would try to take what they had left behind. And she would be ready. Outside the tower, the alien fleet moved like a storm across the stars. Lyra watched through the observation port as dozens of ships approached, their engines glowing red against the dark vacuum. They were precise, calculated, and deadly. The moment had come. Defense was no longer optional. "Arvin, engage the defenses," Lyra commanded. Her voice was calm, but her pulse raced. She had been studying the orb, syncing her mind with the Guardian's energy. Now, she could use it to control the holographic fleet projected from the chamber. Ships of human design, long abandoned, suddenly lit up, weapons charging, shields shimmering. Outside, the enemy fleet hesitated. They had expected ruins, not active defenses. Lyra felt a thrill mixed with fear. Humanity had left behind power, yes, but she had never imagined it could be this, alive. The first ships fired. Beams of energy tore across space, striking the holographic ships, but the projection interacted with the chamber's energy, absorbing the attacks and sending pulses back. Lyra realized she could redirect the energy. With a thought, she aimed it at the enemy. One ship exploded in a flash of light, then another. Panic spread through the alien formation. "Commander," Arvin warned, "they are adapting. The fleet is reconfiguring their attack patterns. Casualties will escalate if you do not act quickly." Lyra gritted her teeth. She had one advantage. Humans had designed this defense to be intelligent. She reached deeper into the orb, feeling its pulse synchronizing with her heartbeat. The holographic fleet expanded, multiplying. Shields interlocked, weapons fired in precise patterns. Each movement was calculated like a dance of energy and steel. The aliens were aggressive, but the technology they faced was unlike anything in the galaxy. Lyra could see their confusion. They were fast learners, but they were not human. They did not understand the strategies encoded in the energy. One ship broke through the outer defenses, its weapons locked on the tower. Lyra's stomach tightened. She focused, and a surge of power shot from the orb. Energy formed a barrier around the tower, stopping the beam midair. Sparks flew as the ship recoiled. The Guardians hummed in unison, amplifying the pulse. Lyra felt a strange connection, a sense that the humans who had left had built this moment in mind, anticipating threats she could not yet understand. Then the vision came again, flashes of human fleets, moving faster than light, weapons that could destroy entire systems, colonies leaving quietly, purposefully, avoiding conflict. She realized the humans had never fought for survival in the conventional sense. They had fought with foresight, planning decades ahead. And now, that foresight was flowing through her. A second wave of alien ships emerged, larger and faster. They were coordinating attacks, trying to outmaneuver her defenses. Lyra's hands moved over the control interface, syncing her mind with the holographic fleet. The air hummed with energy, the Guardian's light reflecting off the walls. Each attack from the aliens was countered, redirected, amplified. One by one, the enemy ships fell, exploding in brilliant flares of red and white. But she knew it wasn't over. The remaining fleet was intelligent, ruthless, and determined. They were learning from every failure. If she faltered, even for a second, the tower, and the secrets of humanity, could be lost. Her breath came in shallow gasps. She felt exhaustion creeping in, but the orb pulsed steadily, urging her forward. Lyra realized something profound. She was no longer just a visitor, no longer an observer. Humanity's legacy had chosen her. She was part of the story now, a guardian, a protector. A sudden warning from Arvin made her spin. "Commander, unidentified vessel approaching rapidly from the opposite side. Energy readings exceed previous levels. It is unlike the others." Lyra's heart skipped. A massive ship, unlike anything she had seen, raced through space, cloaked in shifting shadows. Its energy signature was immense, almost alive. The orb pulsed violently. The Guardians shifted, forming an impenetrable barrier around her. "This is it," she whispered. "The real threat." The alien ship fired. The blast struck the tower, shaking it violently. Lyra clung to the console, her mind connected to the orb. Energy surged from her, through the Guardians, and into the attacking vessel. The massive ship shuddered, systems failing, then paused as if it recognized the force opposing it. Lyra realized something terrifying. The humans had not just left, they had prepared for this moment. For enemies like this. The orb, the Guardians, the holographic fleet, they were all part of a plan centuries in the making. And now, she was standing at the center of it. The ship retreated for the moment, vanishing into the darkness beyond the system. Lyra exhaled slowly, her body trembling. She had survived the first attack, but she knew the enemy would return, stronger, smarter, and hungrier for humanity's secrets. She looked at the orb, glowing steadily. The Guardians hummed, their light calming, yet powerful. Lyra knew the journey was only beginning. The galaxy was waking, enemies were stirring, and humanity's true story, the one hidden in the stars, was about to be revealed. But for now, she had won a battle. And for the first time, she felt the weight of her role. Not just a commander, not just an explorer, but a guardian of humanity's legacy. The stars outside shimmered. Somewhere far away, humans watched silently, waiting for the day the galaxy would understand why they had departed. And that day, Lyra realized, was coming closer with every passing second. The stars outside the tower were calm again, but Lyra knew it was only a false peace. The alien fleet had retreated, but one vessel, the massive, living ship, still lingered at the edge of the system. Its energy signature pulsed like a heartbeat, almost taunting her. Humanity had left this warning, and now it was her responsibility to act. She stood before the orb, guardians surrounding her like a living wall. The glowing artifact hummed, feeding her strength and knowledge. Images flashed in her mind, human fleets, colonies, distant worlds, and a network of hidden stations scattered beyond the galaxy. Lyra realized the scale of what she had discovered. Humanity had not merely survived, they had prepared. They had planned for centuries, hiding technology and knowledge, leaving behind guardians to protect it until someone worthy arrived. "Arvin," she said, her voice firm, "we cannot wait for them to attack again. We need to move beyond this system. There may be humans, or at least records that will tell us why they left." "Understood, Commander," Arvin replied. "However, external scans indicate the alien fleet is tracking our movement. Any attempt to leave will trigger pursuit." Lyra nodded. She had expected that. The galaxy was waking, and enemies were relentless. But she now had more than her ship. She had the orb and the Guardians. Together, they were a force the aliens could not easily overcome. The Guardians moved, forming a path to the ship. Lyra felt their energy merge with hers as she prepared for departure. As the airlock opened, she glanced back at the orb. "This is only the beginning," it seemed to whisper. "Beyond the stars, you will find the truth." Her ship lifted off smoothly, the Guardian's energy surrounding it like an invisible shield. Sensors lit up with the approaching enemy vessels. Lyra activated the orb's projection systems, and human-designed holographic ships appeared, matching her movements precisely. They moved faster than her ship, weaving in and out, intercepting the alien scouts. "Commander," Arvin warned, "the fleet is coordinating attacks. They have adapted to our holographic defenses. Their speed and strategy have increased." Lyra clenched her fists. "We will adapt faster. Humanity didn't leave us helpless, Arvin. We will outsmart them." The chase began. The alien ships surged forward, weapons firing. Energy pulses from the orb deflected beams, destroyed smaller ships, and created illusions to mislead their enemies. Every movement was precise, every counterattack calculated. It was as if the humans themselves were guiding her. Hours passed, or maybe minutes, Lyra couldn't tell. The pursuit continued, the stakes escalating with every light year. Then, a distant signal reached her sensors. One of the hidden colonies, long abandoned by humans, had come alive. A network of energy stations, automated defenses, and hidden records began transmitting to her ship. Lyra's heart raced. She realized humanity had left behind not just weapons or maps, but a network to continue their mission even without them. Their reach was far beyond the known galaxy. She could see star systems lighting up, each one awakening like a beacon, signaling that humanity's plan was in motion. But then, a shiver of fear ran through her. Among the signals was a warning. A system marked in red, the center of the alien fleet's power. The energy readings were immense, almost alive, like a predator waiting for its prey. Lyra understood instantly. The aliens were not just attacking, they were preparing to destroy humanity's hidden remnants, one by one. Her ship trembled as an alien strike came from the side, forcing her to dive through an asteroid field. Debris smashed against the shields. Lyra gritted her teeth, maneuvering expertly. The holographic fleet reacted instantly, intercepting the enemy. But the sheer size of the alien vessel, the one she had faced before, loomed closer, massive and unstoppable. Then the orb pulsed violently. Lyra felt a surge of knowledge and strength. She understood the next step. Humanity had left keys, artifacts scattered across systems, capable of activating weapons and defenses far beyond comprehension. If she could reach them first, she could turn the tide. "Arvin," she said, voice steady, "set a course for the nearest key. We need to activate it before they do. This is humanity's fight, and now it's ours." The ship surged forward, Guardian's energy flaring around her. Stars streaked past as the journey began. Lyra looked ahead at the dark void, realizing the galaxy was alive with secrets, dangers, and mysteries humanity had left behind. And somewhere, out there, the humans themselves waited, watching. Perhaps they were testing her, perhaps preparing for their return. One thing was certain, the galaxy would never be the same again. The alien fleet was relentless. The chase was far from over. And humanity's true power, its knowledge, its legacy, and its secrets, was still waiting to be uncovered. But Lyra was ready. She had become more than a commander. She was now a guardian, a protector of a legacy that had the power to reshape the stars. And the final revelation was closer than anyone could imagine. The stars stretched endlessly before Lyra as her ship raced toward the nearest human key. The orb pulsed in harmony with her heartbeat, its energy guiding her through the void. Behind her, the alien fleet pressed on, relentless, determined to seize what humans had left behind, or destroy it. "Arvin, status report," Lyra said, her eyes fixed on the glowing waypoint. "Commander, key location within 10,000 kilometers. Alien fleet closing fast. Estimated intercept in less than 5 minutes." Lyra swallowed hard. She had no choice but to act quickly. Humanity had left this for a reason. If she failed, the galaxy could fall to the same darkness humans had escaped. The key appeared ahead, a massive, floating structure of unknown alloy, humming with energy. It was enormous, its surface etched with the same strange symbols she had seen in the tower. The orb reacted violently, its light merging with the key. Lyra realized instinctively that it was a lock and a trigger, a device that would awaken humanity's hidden power. The alien fleet accelerated, weapons charging. Lyra gritted her teeth and activated the Guardian's energy shield around her ship. Beams struck the hull but were absorbed and reflected. She reached for the control interface, connecting her mind fully with the orb. "Now," she whispered. The orb flared, sending a pulse into the key. Energy shot out, forming a massive holographic projection of human fleets, hidden colonies, and weapon systems across the galaxy. Ships activated automatically, weapons shimmering, defenses rising. Humanity's hidden power had awoken. The alien fleet froze, scanning, trying to comprehend what they were seeing. They had underestimated the humans, or anyone who now wielded their legacy. Lyra felt a surge of strength, a connection with the humans who had left centuries before. They had prepared everything, for threats, for war, for the survival of the galaxy. The massive alien ship, the one that had struck the tower earlier, lunged forward, glowing with energy. Its sheer size threatened to crush the key. Lyra focused, channeling the orb's energy through her mind. She felt the Guardians respond, merging with her. Together, they formed a shield, a force that held the alien ship at bay. Then, with a thought, Lyra triggered the defenses. A wave of energy erupted across space, striking the alien vessel. Its systems overloaded, lights flashing, engines failing. One by one, the rest of the fleet fell back, confused and disoriented by the sudden activation of humanity's power. Lyra's ship hovered above the quay. She realized the humans had left this not to dominate the galaxy, but to protect it. They had vanished to avoid conflict, to survive, and to leave behind a safeguard, a warning to all who might threaten peace. A soft voice filled her mind, familiar now. You have awakened what we left behind. You are worthy, guardian. Humanity's story continues through you. Tears ran down Lyra's cheeks. She understood now. Humans had not fled out of fear, they had acted with foresight, leaving behind a legacy capable of reshaping the galaxy, protecting life, and warning future civilizations. And she was chosen to continue that mission. The alien fleet, broken and retreating, disappeared into the void. Lyra exhaled, exhaustion and relief flooding her body. She looked at the orb, glowing steadily, the guardians forming a protective circle. She felt a bond with something far greater than herself, a connection to humans who had vanished yet left behind everything needed to endure. Arvin, she whispered. We've done it for now. But there's more out there. More secrets, more threats. We have to keep going. Affirmative, Commander, Arvin replied. Humanity's legacy is vast. We are only beginning to uncover it. Lyra nodded, determination solidifying in her heart. She knew the journey was far from over. The galaxy had woken to the truth. Humans had departed, but they had left behind a power no one could ignore. And now, she would ensure it remained a force for protection, for survival, for hope. The stars stretched infinitely ahead, but Lyra no longer felt small. She was a guardian now, part of a story that spanned centuries, a story of humanity's brilliance, foresight, and unyielding spirit. And somewhere, beyond the known stars, humans watched. Waiting. Patient. Knowing that the galaxy's future, though uncertain, was in capable hands. Lyra's ship accelerated toward the unknown, the orb's light illuminating the path. The galaxy was vast, full of danger and mystery, but she was ready. The humans had left a legacy of hope. And now, she would carry it forward. The stars shimmered brighter than ever, and for the first time in centuries, the galaxy understood. Humanity was gone, but its spirit had never truly left.